Okay, let's come to stand. So especially at the beginning, we're going to be doing our little planks and stuff. So if it's too much, you come to your knees and modify like that. But let's just start with feet hip width apart. Shake everything out, let everything go. Wake your body up a little bit and then ground down through your feet. Seeing that your toes are facing forward, press down through your big toe mound of your pinky toe, press down through your heel and just find a little length. Find that even just when you're standing in your good posture, your abs are turning on without even initiating anything. When we stand up, our abs just work. Take a nice big inhale up. Exhale everything out. Another big inhale up. Exhale, slowly roll over to your toes. You can bend your knees. We're going to take a little stretch and then we're going to come into squat. So just first starting with a little stretch here. So you can have the knees bent as much as you need. Maybe actually let's just take a couple bend and straighten of the knee. Starting to loosen up the back of the leg, letting go in your low back. And then let's straighten up the legs, draw the abs in and roll your spine up back to stand. This time we're coming into our squat. So you're going to sit back at the hips, reach the arms forward, come up and squeeze the glutes. So slow and controlled. This isn't, we don't have to rush through that. I want you to hinge at the hips as if you're going to sit in a seat and then come right back up. So not a bend of the knee, but a push back of the booty, lengthening the arms long in front of you. Let's do 5 more like that. And breathe, squeeze the glutes. Keeping the abs drawn in. So you want to feel your belly pulling in to support. This next one, let's hold it down. And little tiny pulses down, little press. Let's lift the toes slightly. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears and lengthen through your fingertips for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, just bend over to bring your hands back to the floor. From there, let's walk out to your plank position. So if you need to, you come onto your knees. That's not a big deal at all. But if you feel good in your plank, let's stay there for a moment. And then we're going to lift the hips high for downward dog. And take a breath there. You can pedal the knees out here. Let your head just release. And we'll press the heels back. Rolling your spine forward into your plank. And actually, you can always just be doing a cat-cow here. Lift those sit bones up for your downward dog. Inhale, exhale back forward to your plank, finding some movement in the spine. And back to your downward dog. Press the heels back. One more time. And back to your downward dog. Hang out there for a moment. We're going to lengthen the right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip for the stretch. So just feel that right oblique and hip opening. And take any little extra movement you might need. And then we're going to square the hips, bringing that foot through to the hands. Reach the right hand up to the sky. And just take a little stretch here. One more breath there. And then bring the hand back down to the mat. Step back into your plank. Hold your plank for a moment. You always have the option to come onto the knees. Let's float the right leg up, point the toes, and little pulse up. So you can always have the left knee on the mat for 5. And let's bring that leg down, other leg, lift it up, point the toes, little pulses. Keeping the shoulders right over the wrist for 5. And let's place that foot down back to your downward dog. Take a breath there, and we'll take the left leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and just take this stretch. So let this really be about the opening through the side, the oblique, the hip. One more breath there. And then we'll square the hips, step that foot through to the hands, taking the left arm up to the sky, and take that twist. Really lengthen and open. And breathe. One more breath there. And we'll bring that hand back down, stepping back into your plank. One more here. And again, we're going to take the right leg up, point the toes, little pulses of that leg up, squeeze the glute, waking up the backside body. And we lower that leg down, other leg up, point the toe, pulse it up. For 3, 2, last one, bring that foot down, bend the knees, press back, child's pose, take a breath. So the body's starting to wake up. You can let the knees be wide, bringing the forehead down to the mat. One more breath there. And we'll roll up onto hands and knees, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knee under the pelvis. And just into your cat stretch, pressing your spine up to the sky, head drops, tail drops, pull your belly button up and in. Inhale, exhale, head up, tail up. Really shining the heart forward and into your cat, pulling the abs in. So starting to wake up the abs. And then into your cow. And all the way back to center. Just do a little rock forward, back and forth. So you see where your weight is. And then let's recenter yourself. So your shoulders are right over your wrists. Press the fingertips down, press the heel of the hand down. Let the abs completely relax for a moment. So let your belly just be soft and hang out. And then pull your belly button up into your spine, feeling how you can activate your transverse abdominis, really hugging the abs up and in without any movement. Let your abs relax. And then magnetize your belly button up into your spine and hold that as you extend your right arm and your left leg long. And bring the hand and the knee right back down, left arm, right leg. So there's no tension in the neck. You're sliding the shoulder blades away from the ears, moving opposite arm, opposite leg. Engaging first from the transverse abdominis, and then you find that length. You're making sure that the pelvis is staying still, like you've got your cup of tea balancing on your sacrum. Relaxing the foot that's on the mat. So make sure your foot isn't doing all the work to balance. It's your abs. Now when the right arm goes out, left leg long, hold it there. Tap the fingers and the toes to touch the mat and then lift right back up. Tap down and lift. So just a little bit of movement to challenge stability. Last one, lift and hold, round your spine, knee and the elbow connect and extend. Check in on your right foot as well. Mine, I just noticed, was getting a little bit tense because it's wanting to do the balance instead of my abs. Last one, extend and hold. Hand and knee come to the mat, rounding into your cat, into your cow, back into neutral, extending left arm, right leg, holding there. Slide the shoulder blade away from the ear, firming up the right glute, fingertips and toes touch the mat, and lift. Left foot is not doing all the work. Abs are drawing in. 2. 1 more. Round your spine, knee and the elbow touch under the belly, and extend. Round in and extend. For 3, lengthen. 2, contract those abs. Last one, lengthen, hold, and hand and the knee come right back down. Into your cat, into your cow, back to center. Flip the fingertips towards the knees. Just take a little lean back and stretch the wrists. So warming up the body. And bring it back to center. Flip the back of the hand down, fingertips still towards your knees, and now shift back. And maybe do a little circle. Ooh, that's a nice little tense stretch on the wrist. Reverse it. And then we'll bring it all the way back to center. Palms back down. Roll the toes under, draw the abs up and in. Magnetize the abs up and in, slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, and hover the knees a micro inch up off the mat. And we're just going to hold. Shift your weight slightly forward, pulling the belly up and in. Feel as if you're holding a ball between your thighs. You're lengthening through your neck, through the crown of the head is reaching forward in front of you. Your tailbone's reaching long behind you for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Knees down, press back, child's pose. Take a breath. This time we're going to walk the left hand over to meet the right, and then reach the right hand a little bit further to the side and take a stretch to the left side body, expanding the space between the ribs on the left side, breathing into that left lung. And we'll walk it back to center and to the other side. So you want to find that opening through the body. Really reaching the right fingertips forward, pushing that right hip back, breathing into the space between the ribs on the right side. And we'll come back to center and slide yourself all the way out onto your belly. So just come to lay all the way down. Connect your forearms together and glue the forehead to the forearms. Make sure the arms are walked enough forward that you're feeling really long through your spine, through your neck. If your hands are too close in, your chest is gonna feel kind of propped up off the mat. So you wanna make sure everything is melted down as best it can be. And then without any movement to start, I want you just to notice how you can, again, pull your belly button up off the mat. Feel your hip points and your pubic bone connect down into the mat. So we're starting to find the transverse abdominis here now. Also drawing the ribs up and in. So there's a lot of activation in the abs when we haven't even added any movement yet. So keep that activation and I'll float the right leg up off the mat. Keeping the right hip point down. Lengthen through your toes and then lower that leg down. Other side. So we're keeping the pelvis still as we lift one thigh and then the other. Upper body is completely relaxed. Breathe. So first finding it from your abs and then initiate through the glute. One more single leg, and you can always stay with single leg. Otherwise, we're going to go both legs lift and lower. Keep the pelvis still. So I don't want your low back to start to take this all in and start crunching in your low back. Can you find the length in your lumbar? You pull those abs up and in, hold the thighs up, and circle them away from each other. They're going to stir around and around. And breathe. And reverse it. So you feel your buns tightening up. And last one, lowering those thighs down, shake your pelvis out, let go of any tension in your sacrum or your low back. Hopefully there's no tension in your low back. Keep the forehead on the forearms, drawing the abs up and in. We're gonna keep the thighs on the mat as we just lift the upper body a little bit off the mat, an inch maybe off the mat. So not high to start, but just feel how your upper body can support you to lift and then lower everything down. Keeping the forehead attached to the forearms, keep the pubic bone pressing into the mat, draw the abs in, and then lift. So like that airplane taking off, you're lifting and lengthening out of your pelvis and lower. Can you slide your shoulder blades away from your ears as if the shoulder blades are in the back pockets, and then lift. Maybe each time you're coming a little bit higher and lower. One more time. Draw the abs up and in, lift, lengthen, and hold. Lengthen the arms out in front of you. Refold the arms and lower everything back down. Extend the arms out to the front now. So you're super long through your body. Your fingertips are lengthened, your legs are lengthened out. Pull the belly button up and in. We're gonna lift just the right arm and the left leg. And lower. Just the left arm and the right leg. One more, just single. And if it feels good to stay there, stay there. Otherwise, we're gonna lift both arms and legs up and we swim it out. So you can stay really slow with just lifting opposite arm, opposite leg, or we can go for that swim. You're lengthening your neck. It's an extension of your spine. So your head's not dropping down, but it's not looking up. It's just long for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Fold the arms, relax the head down, and shake everything out. You're going to gently press yourself back to your child's pose. Take a breath there, and then we're going to come to sit. Then you're going to roll yourself all the way up. We're going to grab a ring or a band or anything, a towel if you don't have a prop. So you can have your ring or a band, and we're going to do a little bit of activation in the back and then stretching. So whatever you have. So you could use a towel and just hold on to a towel too. Whatever works for you. So we're going to sit up tall, pressing the sits bones down into the mat. So first, you just want to get your good posture. So if you need to move your booty out of the way to get those sits bones pressing down, send the arms out long to the front. So imagine your back is against a wall. Press down through the legs, lengthen up the top of the head. And with the heel of the hand, we're just going to give it a squeeze. So if you have a band, you can either be pulling it apart or you could put your wrists inside the band and pull this way. So whatever is feeling like is best for you. But what I want is activation through your lats and your mid to lower traps and working on those posture muscles. So we're not squeezing from the neck. It's really from the mid back area. You grow longer and taller with every time you squeeze in or pull out. And then just hold it there. Get a little bit longer and taller. And then tuck your pelvis and roll halfway back. Halfway back. And then lift. Inhale, exhale, halfway back. And lift. We're going to hold that halfway back. Hold here. Make sure the quads are not gripping. You want to really find this in your low belly. and then little squeezes. Are the shoulders relaxed away from your ears? You don't want to be all up in your neck. You want long neck. So if you have a loop band, you're just pressing out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, you're going to slowly roll your spine down to the mat. Slowly rolling all the way down. Hands are going to stay above your shoulders. Head all the way down. Inhale. On your exhale, let's really reach the fingertips to the sky, but keep your collarbone wide. And lift head, neck, and shoulders and slowly peeling all the way up. Up. Pull the abs in. Reach, reach, reaching forward. And then scoop and roll back halfway. One more here. We're going to just lengthen the arms above the head. And then lengthen them back forward. Pulling the belly in. Lift up out of your pelvic floor muscles. So if you can start to find that Kegel, that's going to really get into your low belly and help with the support. Hold the arms above the head. Breathe. So the shoulder blades away from the ears. How long can you make your neck? How much can you depress your shoulder blades down? Inhale and exhale. One more breath. And we're going to just dive up and over to the toes, reaching forward. You can hook your band, your ring, whatever you have around your right foot and roll all the way down and take the leg up to the sky. And we're going to take a stretch here. So melting all the way down to the mat. And we're just going to breathe into the hamstring. So nothing serious yet. Just let the leg get used to being up. And then we're going to start to set the body. So firm that left leg down. Push your right sits bone forward. You start to breathe into the hamstring. You can add bending and straightening of the knee here. Breathe. We'll hold that leg straight and we'll take it back a little bit further. And maybe each breath is going to allow you to get a little bit deeper into your hamstring, but not yanking on it, easing in. Push that right hip away from you, making sure the hips are staying square. Shoulders are relaxed. Actively stretching through the back of the leg. Take one more big breath here. We'll release the leg, bringing your stretching device to the tip of your toes. Let your leg go down a little bit so it's not in your hamstring, and we're going to focus on the calf. Pull the toes towards your shin. Push the heel to the sky. And we're going to bend and straighten. Point and flex. Just breathing into the calf. Working on ankle mobility. And then holding the toes towards your shin, pushing the heel up. Take just a couple of breaths into your calf. And then we'll take it into the center of the foot and spiral the leg open and out to the side for your inner thigh stretch, keeping the left hip anchoring you in place and reaching out through your right inner thigh, out through that right heel. Shoulders relax. And breathe. So actively stretching, not letting the leg just fall over to the side. You're keeping that leg up and lengthening out. Each breath is getting you a little bit longer. Let's take one more breath. And we'll extend that leg up to the sky and let it come slightly across the body, stretching through the outside of the hip. So keeping your right back pocket firmly planted into the mat, and the leg is just coming a little bit across the body. Pushing your right hip away. And breathe. Shoulders relax. Let's take 2 more breaths. And we're going to exhale, let that leg fall over to the side, looking in the opposite direction so the knee just falls across the body. Putting your stretching, your ring or your band to the side as you just look to the right, leg over to the left. Extending that leg back out to straight on the mat, feeling how it's so much longer and looser than the left leg. Holding onto your ring, draw the abs in, so the shoulders away from the ears, peel your spine up and over, diving up and over to the toes, and then catching onto your left foot. And let's roll back, getting all the length as you roll down, taking the left leg up to the sky. And breathe. So just starting to get the leg used to being up. And then you'll firm your right leg down, start to bend and straighten into the left leg, pushing the left hip away from you, keeping the hips even on both sides. And we'll breathe into the back of the leg first. Starting to keep the leg straight, getting more length through the hamstring. Shoulders relax. Focusing on every breath, finding a little more length without letting your butt leave the mat. So your pelvis is firmly planted. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here. And we're going to exhale, release that leg, bringing it to the tip of the toes, letting the leg go down a little bit further. So you're just focusing on the calf and start to pull the toes towards your shin. Pushing the heel to the ceiling. And then we'll point and flex. So getting the ankle mobility. And holding the toes down, pushing the heel up and breathe. Last breath there. We're going to release, bring it to the center of the foot, spiraling the thigh, open it out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. Keeping your right hip anchoring you down, lengthening out through your left inner thigh. And breathe. Let's take a couple more breaths here, shoulders relax. And then your next exhale, let's sweep the leg up to the sky, pushing that left hip away, letting the leg come a little bit across the body, stretch to the side of the hip. So make sure that back pocket is staying down. So both hips are evenly pressing you down into the mat. And then the leg just comes a little bit across. So it's that moving in opposite directions that's giving you the stretch. Imagine someone's holding your hip down. And then on your next exhale, we'll melt into your spinal twist. Bring the leg fall across the body. You can put your band or your ring down. And breathe into that twist. And we'll extend that leg long on the mat. Shaking the legs out so they're long and loose. And we'll bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. And then starting to set up neutral spine as we're on our back now. So first take a couple times to arch and imprint your spine, loosening up your lumbar and then just noticing the 2 extremes of your spine, settling back into your neutral where your hip bones are in line with your pubic bones. You can balance a cup of espresso on your low belly. You have that tiny bit of space underneath your low back. Front ribs soften into the body. And then for me, I like to take my thumbs onto those back ribs and pull the back ribs away a little bit. So you've got a little more length in your back body and your abs just soften down an inch. Shoulders are relaxed. Belly is drawing in. You start to lift out of your pelvic floor muscles. So your low belly is tight. We didn't even add movement, but your core is so engaged. And then bring your right leg into tabletop. Ankle in line with the knee over the hip. Bring the other leg up to meet it. Shoulders relax. So just be really aware that the upper body is being very soft. And tap your right toes to the front edge of the mat or any amount away from you that allows you to stay neutral and bring it back to center. And then left. So head is on the mat. Collarbone is wide. Back bottom ribs secure you into the mat. Front ribs are softening into the body. Your belly button is dropping into that space in your low back while your low back has a little bit of space. So you're not creating an arch. You're keeping the natural curve of your spine. And if anything, err on the side of imprinting. I don't want you to go into an arch. I want you to keep just what your spine shape is. So you're just doing an opposite leg toe tap while your belly drops in deep. So it's like you're laying at the edge of the pool. You dip your toe forward into the water and then pull the leg back up. Shoulders relax. Super secure in the abs. So a slow motion is actually way more challenging than doing this fast. Because you got to really hold that control. Shoulders relax. Let's do one more each way. And bring everything back to center. Give your knees a little bit of a hug. And bring your feet back down to the mat. So if you're not doing any crunches, actually, you could just, again, do another set of that. Otherwise, hands up to the sky. Collarbone is wide. So being very aware that your neck is not coming into the equation here. Inhale, exhale, just fold forward from your rib cage. So feel that your upper abs are supporting you, not your neck, and lower back down. Inhale, exhale, float head, neck, and shoulders up while pelvis is staying in neutral. Inhale, exhale. So the upper abs just need to wake up to know that they are going to be doing the job to support you as the head, neck, and shoulders is lifted. Hold this one up and reaches forward, reach, reach. You see that your abs are sinking down and in. Your stomach is flat as you reach forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lower everything back down. Relax your arms by your sides. Bring the right leg to the table. Bring the left leg up to meet it. Reach the hands to the sky. Keeping the back of the skull pressing into the mat. Reach your right arm backwards. Reach your left leg forward. And then return to center. Left arm backwards, right leg forward. And return to center. So all we're doing is that opposite arm, opposite leg that we did on hands and knees. And now your back is just supported to the mat. So same thing, your abs engage, and then you move opposite arm, opposite leg. If it feels good, take the arm and leg closer towards the mat. If it doesn't, take it closer to the sky. Or if that feels better, closer to the sky, do that. Whatever your body is telling you, that's allowing your transverse abdominis to work, to keep you supported. Your abs are never pushing out, they're sinking down. Using your breath. And then if you feel like you want to lift your head, neck, and shoulders, you never have to. You lift them here and do the same thing for 5 more each way. So your choice, where do you feel the most activated? What is best for your body? Are your abs sinking down and in? If your head is up, there's no tension in the neck or the jaw. You're gonna do 1 more each way. Bring everything back to center and give your knees a little hug. Take the knees, stir them in the hip sockets to let go of any tension in the hip flexors, and reverse. And we'll bring everything back to center. Set the feet down just to get your neutral reestablished. Bringing your right leg to table, left leg to meet it. This time, let's hug the thighs together. Flex to the feet, draw the abs in, shoulders relax. Dipping both heels together down just an inch. Start slow, and then float the legs right back up. Now we're gonna go down 2 inches. And bring the legs back up. Pay attention to what's happening in the shoulders. Now we can go down 3 inches and drag it up. So where do you feel like your upper body is starting to get a little tense? Stay there or bring it back a little bit further. So if your heels can touch the mat and the rest of the body is super secure, great. And if it's only 1 inch, totally fine. Don't worry about it. But where are you getting your deepest activation in your transverse abdominis? No tension in the neck. If you feel like you want, we can lift the hands 1 inch up off the mat, reach the fingertips forward, slide your shoulder blades away from your ears, and fold forward from the rib cage. So your head can stay down, it does not have to be up, but if you want it up, go ahead. Unless I already told you that's not your story. Pull the belly in, lift out of the pelvic floor. Let's do 3 more here. So if the head is down, the legs won't go as far. Let's do 1 more. And we'll bring the legs all the way back in, hug it in, and relax. Let your head just rock side to side, whether it was up or down. We just want to make sure there's no tension creeping in. And we'll bring the legs back to center. Bring the legs to table, hands to the sky. We're coming into the hundreds prep, so you can do this with head down, collarbone wide. Inhale, exhale. We'll fold forward from the rib cage, or just reach your hands forward and extend your legs out at a high diagonal. And bring the head back down, or keeping that head all the way down. Inhale. On your exhale, fold forward from the rib cage, lengthen your legs. And back out. 2 more like that. Exhale. Exhale. On this next one, we're going to hold the lift. So if your head's staying down, we'll keep the legs closer to the sky. Inhale, exhale, lift, lengthen, and hold. and then start to pump the arms for the hundreds. Inhaling for 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. If you haven't done this in a long time, feel free to keep the legs all the way to the sky or even keeping your knees bent. You can even do that with the head down. So you could feel it super good even with the head down, but focus on pulling the ribs together, softening the front ribs into the body, pressing those back bottom ribs down. Inhales, big exhale. You're pressing your inner thighs towards each other wherever you are. You can have your heels glued together, toes turned out, or legs in parallel. Inhales, big. Each exhale is going to sink your abs even deeper in towards your spine. Inhale, big exhale. 2 more sets. Inhale. Exhale, and we'll take the legs up to the sky, hug the knees all the way in, and relax the head all the way down. We're going to take the legs straight up to the sky. Imagine the head is down, the arms are by your sides, and imagine your legs are supported by a wall in front of you. So it's just like your heels are on the wall, but they're really not. So let's keep those legs straight. Oh, why did Siri just start talking on my watch? Collarbone is wide. Point the toes. Draw the belly in, soften the ribs into the body. Let's turn the legs out. We're going to crisscross the right leg over to the left, and then left over the right, and then right over the left, and then let the legs open just as wide as the mat. And then close with the left on top. And then we go right, left, open, right, left, right, open. So it's 3 crosses, and then we open. So the abs have to really work to keep your legs supported up. Inner thighs are working to help control. So each time it's an opposite leg starts. Legs are straight up to the sky. Shoulders are relaxed. We're going to do 1 more each way. Switch, 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 open, switch, 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 open, bring legs back together, hug the knees all the way in. Let's bring the feet down to the mat. Arms relaxed by the sides, collarbone is wide, feet are hip width apart. We're setting up for a bridge here. Pressing big toe mound down, pinky toe down, heel down, lightness in your arch, tuck your pelvis, pressing your low back into the mat, pulling your big bone towards your chin as you slowly peel your hips up to the sky. Lifting the hips up, neck is long, nothing's underneath your neck. Push the hips all the way up. Feel like your knees are getting dragged forward away from your body, and then sequentially imprinting your spine all the way back down, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down into the mat. Inhaling at the bottom, pressing all the way up. Feel that inside line of the foot pressing into the mat while your pinky toe secures you down also. And press vertebra by vertebra back down. We're going to do 3 more full bridges. All the way up. Squeeze the glutes and sequentially all the way down. Using your breath, peeling all the way up. So also a nice little massage on the spine, in addition to getting engagement into your core and into your glutes and hamstrings. This one, let's hold the lift. Push the hips a little bit higher. Draw the abs in. Feel like your sits bones can reach towards your calves. So your booty is very activated here. Keeping that straight position, just tap your buttons down and then press up. They almost touch the mat and you go right back up. Tap down, press up, and squeeze. Lower and lift and down and up. So situating your feet to where you feel supported. Once you're there, they get cemented down, and then the thighs run even like your train tracks. The inner thighs are activated to keep the legs running parallel. Hold this one on the lift and tiny pulses up. Lengthen the arms up to the sky while you do those pulses. So now we have even more activation because we don't have the arms on the mat. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Sequentially imprinting your spine all the way down into the mat, keeping the hands up to the sky, or if your head's staying down, you can bring your head down, or you bring your hands down, bring the legs to the table. Inhale. On your exhale, float head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend your left leg long, frame the right knee with both hands. Inhale, exhale, switch. So in a single leg stretch, we're just guiding one leg in to table as the other leg lengthens away. Pulling the belly in. Reach and reach. So if you want to advance it, you keep the leg closer to the mat. If it feels better, keep the leg closer to the sky. Maybe try both ways. See where it feels best for you. Breathe. For 3, 2. Last one, bring both legs back to table, head down for 1 minute. Inhale, exhale, lift the head neck shoulders. If it's coming up, reach both arms and legs away from the body for a single or for a double leg stretch, and then circle, bring it back to center. Inhale, arms and legs lengthen away from the body. Exhale, bring it down. So you can have the head down and keep the legs closer to the sky. If it feels like you need more of a challenge, you can bring the legs closer to the mat. Exhale, inhale long, exhale, sweeping it back to center. 3 more. If the head is up, no tension in the neck. Last one, bring it back to center, hug it in, and we'll bring the feet back down to the mat, hip width apart. Walk the heels a tiny bit closer to you. Not all the way in, just a little bit. Tuck the pelvis right back up into that bridge. Push the hips up, hug the thighs slightly together, lift your heels. Pressing the big toe mound down, pinky toe. So if you need to walk your toes back a little bit, adjust right there. Collarbone is wide. Tap your butt down to the mat, press up and squeeze. Tap down, up and squeeze. So can you find the activation where the glute and the hamstring are meeting, and then keep that area tight? So you could just flop your butt down and up and not pay attention and not have the body awareness here, or you could really get those muscles activated, maintain that, and move smooth and controlled. Your abs are still working. They're helping to support here. So you don't think that this is a break for your abs. We are focusing hamstrings and glutes, but the abs are definitely working. If you want, hands can come to the sky. Collarbone is wide. Hold the hips up high here and tiny pulses up, up. If the hands are to the sky, they're right over your shoulders. Your collarbone is wide, almost like you're holding a big balloon there. And there's energy coming out through the fingertips, all the way from your back. Soft to the jaw, eyes are to the sky. Press up, 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 up for 5. Hold the lift, tap your right heel to touch the mat and press right back up. Tap the left heel. So alternating heel taps with nothing else moving. Can you feel that? All the activation through the back of the leg. Hopefully the buns are firing up. Abs are drawing in. Keep the hips lifted. You should never feel this in your low back. If you need to, you come down and adjust. Also think about those sits bones reaching forward. That will help to keep the buns activated and not dump into your low back. We got 1 more each way. Pull the hips high, pull the heels high, and then sequentially imprinting your spine back down into the mat. Once you're in neutral, bring the legs to table. Inhale, on your exhale, extend the legs straight, fold forward from the rib cage, lifting head, neck, shoulders, extend your left leg long, grab gently behind the right thigh. Little double pull in, scissor the legs, pull, pull. Inhale, exhale. So you can grab behind the thigh or up towards the ankle. We're going to have a challenge on the last one of this. So if you don't want the challenge, you can just lay there and rest and stretch, or you could keep going with just this single leg stretch. Your choice. 2 more. Using your breath, last one. And then keep the left leg long, keep the right leg up. Grab behind that right thigh. Begin to walk your hands all the way up to your ankle to bring yourself up, to sit on your sits bones. Slide the shoulder blades down, get long through your spine, and then just walk all the way back down. Inhale and exhale, drawing those abs in. Think lengthening up out of the pelvis as you come all the way up and all the way down. This next time, you can take hands or no hands and come all the way up. Left hand catches the outside of the right ankle. Lift and lengthen tall, side the shoulder blades down, and then twisting to bring the right hand to the back. Look towards those right fingertips and bring it back to center. And twist and back to center 1 more time. And all the way back to center. We're going to switch legs. Walk your hands down the left leg. And all the way back up. All the way down. All the way up. Go down, and then this time, hands or no hands. We're going to meet at the top and stay, catching the right hand to the outside of the left ankle. Lift and lengthen tall, taking the left arm back. Widen through the collarbone, keeping your chest open. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Twist, back to center, both legs up to the sky. So you're going to either stay with both legs up, or you can knee and rolling like a ball. You can glue your heels, bend your knees hip width apart. Otherwise, legs are up. I almost just lost it. And bring your legs shoulder width apart. So you can go into your ball position or open leg rocker. You'll roll back to your shoulder blades. We're gonna do 3 times, come up and balance. Or you could just balance there. You don't have to even add the roll. One more time. Come up, balance, hold, bring the legs together. Release the hands and sequentially imprint your spine all the way back down. Give your knees a little hug. We're gonna bring the feet back down to the mat. Pressing the feet down, peeling your spine all the way up into your bridge. This time, walk the feet wide. So they go as wide as the mat, push the hips up a little bit higher, and then dig the heels down, turn the toes up. Tap your butt down, press up and squeeze. Go down, up and lift. Shoulders relax. Holding the belly in. Collarbone is wide. When you come up, we're going to tap the knees together. Open the knees, tap your butt down. Press up, squeeze the knees in, open, tap down, press up. If you want more challenge, feel free to lift your hands up to the sky. If not, it's totally fine. Keep your arms down. And using that breath. So when we add that bridge in between, it gives your abs a different work. So then they're ready to come back stronger for the abdominal series. We got one more set in that because we'll do double straight leg lower and crisscross together. And now hold the knees open, hold those hips up, push your hips up a little bit higher and little pulses up to the sky. Push those sits bones towards your calf. So you're finding that length through your spine and not just sinking into your low back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, drop the toes, walk the feet back together. If the hands are up, bring them down. The legs are hip width apart. Push the hips up a little bit higher as you bring your right leg into tabletop. Extend the right leg up to the sky and add little pulses up here. Pulse up. And breathe. For 5. And last one, place that foot down, other leg comes up. Extend the leg up to the sky and little pulses up. Push the left sits bone forward. For 5. And last one, bring that foot down. Both hips are pushing up evenly and little pulses up. Push those sits bones forward. This is your last little pulses in your bridging. So really fire up the glutes. Hug the thighs slightly together. Make sure that big toe mound is pressing down the pinky toe, the inside line of the foot. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, rolling all the way down. And right back into legs and table, fingertip touch behind the ears. Elbows are wide to the side. So you just have the hands behind your head. If your head is coming up, if not, hands by your sides. Elbows wide. Inhale, exhale to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Extend the legs to the sky. Legs in parallel or in turnout. Inhale, let your legs lengthen a few inches away from the body. Exhale to drag the legs up. You could also have your legs in tabletop. They don't need to be extended. Lengthen and lift. Extend. If the head is down and the legs are straight, keep that movement a little bit smaller. You also could bring one hand onto your belly. Feel, are your abs dropping down or are they pushing up? So smooth and controlled. You got 4. We're going to go right into crisscross after. So if you're not doing that, you can stay here or just take a stretch. One more. If the legs are going to stay straight, lower the left leg out. You can also bend your legs into tabletop and do the same thing. We're going to twist up and over. Bring the left shoulder towards the right knee. Scissor the legs and twist up and over. Up and over. Twist. And twist. So if straight legs isn't feeling good, you could do it with a bent knee and just go up and twist. Twist. 3. So just as long as you're bringing opposite shoulder to opposite knee for 4. Really exhale on that twist, getting all the air out. You got one more each way. When you're even, let's bring it all back to center and hug it all the way in and relax. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Thread your hands behind the left thigh and let's take a little stretch for the glute. Pushing the right elbow into the right thigh. And we'll switch sides. Pressing left ankle over right knee. Pull back from behind the right thigh, pushing the left thigh away from you. So it's that push pull to get the stretch, keeping your tailbone heavy. And we'll release that. Let the legs go long on the mat. Take one long stretch here, arms and legs lengthen away from you like someone's pulling you apart from either side. And you're gonna roll over onto your left side. And it doesn't really matter because we're gonna do both sides, but with the cues, it might be a little easier. So we're lining up the body as if it's on a balance beam here. Legs are completely straight, and then you bring your heels just a touch forward. Push the top hip away from you. Feel your bottom waistline lifting up off the mat. Wrap the ribs in. Top hand can be a kickstand. Lift the top leg. Bottom toes can be in turn out. Flex to the foot. Sweep the leg forward and point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward and point and sweep back. And if that feels unstable, bend the bottom knee. If that helps you get more focus through your leg and your hip, that's totally fine as well. If you don't need your kickstand hand, it can be on your hip. But check in with your upper body. You're wrapping your ribs in. Your jaw is relaxed. Your collarbone is open. Your abs are holding you in place. Hold the leg on the back and small little pulses back. So you feel your buns pop up off of your hamstring. Your bun is only one at this moment. Little presses for 4, 3, 2, and bring it back to center. Right in line with the hip, and tiny stirs here. Little tiny circle, like you're screwing in a screw. Can you find the circle coming from your belly? It's a tiny movement. Reverse. Imagine your toes can get a little bit further away from you. Hold it there. Turn the toes up to the sky. So we open the thigh up, extend the leg to the sky, and flex and draw that leg down with resistance. Lengthen it up. Exhale. So you're not letting it just fall. You're creating the resistance each way. 2. One more complete one. And let's keep the leg up to the sky. Flex the foot. Let the leg come forward in line with the hip. And then sweep the leg back up to the sky. So you want to look like the letter L from the top with that leg. When it's coming down, it's coming right in front of the hip. The thigh the knee is tracking forward. It's not turning down. It's not turning up. Let's keep this one forward. And little tiny bend and straighten. Bend, press. Bend, press. And breathe for 4, 3, 2. Take the leg back up to the sky. Point the toes. And stirs to the ceiling. And breathe. So getting that opening through the hip. Try not to let your hips roll backwards. And then reverse. And we're going to bend that knee, take that foot down to the mat, flex the bottom foot, and just lift and lower the bottom leg. So just a little inner thigh action here, just a quick set there. 5 more. Hold the abs in. 3, 2. Hold this one up, tiny pulse for 10. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower it down. Both legs meet. And then bend the knees so they're at 45 degrees. Glue the heels. Open and close the top knee. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Push the top hip away. Keeping everything else stacked. Lift. So you feel your side booty. And then hold it up in tiny pulses. Pulse up. Keep squeezing the heels together. And lower that all the way down. Last set here, let's bring the knees to right in front of the pelvis. Ankles are in line with the knees. So it's like a side tabletop position. Flex the feet hard. Knees are stacked. Lift the top leg up and let it almost touch down so that the knees are stacked and lift right back up. So you can also just have your head all the way out on your arm, whatever feels best for your neck. For me, it's easier because I can then kind of see. So I like my head up. But when I'm doing exercises, not watching the computer screen, I typically will have my head down because I feel like it feels nicer for my neck. But it's harder for me to see if I'm not lifted. This next one is coming down and fold. Tiny circles, really flexing through that foot. Pull the abs in, push your buns back just a little. And reverse. Hold, keep that leg straight, and pull it in. Last thing here, kick it straight and pull it in. Press out, squeeze and in for 3, 2. Last one, bring it in and let it relax. Punch it out. You're gonna prop yourself up and just swivel your legs to the other side. So starting on your balance beam, laying all the way straight, and then legs are gonna come a micro inch forward into a little banana shape. Abs are in, push the top hip away, lift the top leg, and start to sweep the leg forward and point it to the back. So just retracing the line forward and back. Trying to not have it go up and down. You want it very smooth and controlled. Breathe in and out. Pulling the belly in. Let's do 2 more here. Going only to your range of motion where you're not wobbling. The next one, let's keep it back and tiny presses back. So you feel that activation where the glute and the hamstring are meeting, popping the bun right up off the hamstring for 5. And last one, bring it back to center, point the toes and tiny circles. So getting long out of the hip. Tiny little circles. See, are you finding that from the abs? And reverse, lifting out of your pelvic floor. Hold it there. Turn the thigh to the sky as you lift your leg up and flex to drag it down. Inhale to lift, flex and pull. So make sure you're in that external rotation. Otherwise, your leg's not going to have a lot of range of motion. So your thigh has to be spiraled open. The next one stays to the sky. We lift and lengthen, hold, flex the foot, push the heel up away from you, and then let your leg fall forward to landing right in front of your hip, and then straight back up to the sky. It comes forward and straight back up. Breathe. Two more. Last one. Now let's bring the leg forward and hold it. Tiny bend straighten. Knee is tracking forward. It's not turning down. It's not turning up for 5. And last one, take the leg back up to the sky. Point the toes. Tiny stirs to the sky. Now we open through that hip. Are your abs engaged? And reverse. Of course they are. And we'll take that leg all the way back down. Bend the knees to 45 degrees for your clamshell. Push the top hip away. And then open and close. So think about those hips staying so stacked. You're pinned from your top hip down into your bottom hip. Bottom waistline is lifting off the mat. So even though we're laying on our side, the abs are still working. You put that hold at the top and then release. 2 more. Now let's hold this one up and tiny pulses up, pulse up. Keep pushing the top hip away so you find that length of your top waistline. For 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower all the way down. The knees come to that side tabletop position. So knees directly in front of the hips, feet are flexed, knees are stacked. See that they're stacked and one's not sitting back from the other. The top leg sweeps up and it's down. It's like a door on a hinge. It sweeps open and resist closed. Lift. Open and close. 2 more like that. Feet flexed. Bring this one down, hold it halfway, and draw your little circle, stirring it around. Finding it from the hip socket. Keep that little bit of space in your low back so you push those buns back just a touch and reverse. Foot flexed. That's going to help fire the posterior chain up. And then hold as you just kick that leg long and bring it in. And kick the leg long and bring it in. 2 more. And last one. Let's bring it all the way in and let it all the way rest. So we're going to come into our final plank. If it doesn't feel good for you, we're going to make our way into a downward dog. So wherever it feels best. Otherwise, if we're going for it, we're going to lay on the stomach for one moment, bringing the hands alongside your armpits, tucking the elbows backwards, long neck, roll the toes under, draw the belly up and in, really slide the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. On your exhale, just press into your plank and hold. Pull those abs up and in, lengthen through the heels, the crown of the head. Inhale. On your exhale, take it to a downward dog. And just take a breath there. Pedal the knees out. Any last little movement you might need. You could also just be in a cat cow. And we'll press both heels back. And slow walk of your toes to meet your hands. Finding your way into that forward fold. Let everything just hang. So you can have softness in the knees. And notice how you feel a lot more lengthened than the first forward fold of the class. And let your head just hang heavy. You can bounce, sway, whatever little movement to let anything go. And then seeing that the feet are hip width apart. Let's soften the knees, draw the abs in, and we're going to restack the spine. Using your abs to stand longer, taller, and stronger than we came into class this morning. So you're all the way tall and rolling the shoulder blades away from the ears. We're going to take a nice big inhale up. And exhale. One more time, big inhale up. And exhale it out. And thank you, Pilates Hotties, for coming to class. I love having you here.